The Hadean Aeon, named after the Greek god and ruler of the underworld, Hades, is the oldest aeon and dates from 4.5 to 4.0 billion years ago. This time represents Earth's earliest history, during which the planet was characterized by a partially molten surface, volcanism, and asteroid impacts. The Hadean Aeon is often characterized by extreme volcanism as Earth continued to cool. Large amounts of water would have been in the material which formed the Earth. Water molecules would have escaped Earth's gravity more easily when it was less massive during the formation. The Archean Aeon, the earlier of the two formal divisions of Precambrian time, about 4.6 billion to 541 million years ago, and the period when life first formed on Earth. The Archean Aeon began about 4 billion years ago with the formation of Earth's crust and extended to the start of Proterozoic Aeon 2.5 billion years ago. Records of Earth's primitive atmosphere and oceans emerged in the earliest Archean, Eoarchean era. Fossil evidence of the earliest primitive life forms, prokaryotic microbes from the domain called Archaea, and bacteria appears in rocks about 3.5 to 3.7 billion years ago.
The Proterozoic is the third of the four geologic eons of Earth's history, spanning the time interval from 2500 to 538.8, the longest aeon of the Earth's geologic timescale. It is preceded by the Archean and followed by the Phanerozoic, and is the most recent part of the Precambrian super-aeon. The Phanerozoic is the current and the latest of the four geologic eons in the Earth's geologic timescale, covering the time period from 538.8 million years ago to the present. It is the aeon during which abundant animal and plant life has proliferated, diversified, and colonized various niches on the Earth's surface. Beginning with the Cambrian period, when animals first developed hard shells that can clearly be preserved in the fossil record. The time before the Phanerozoic, collectively called the Precambrian, is now divided into the Hadean, Archean, and Proterozoic aeons.
Paleozoic era. The Paleozoic era, major interval of geologic time that began 538.8 million years ago with the Cambrian explosion, an extraordinary diversification of marine animals, and ended about 252 million years ago with the end Permian extinction. Cambrian period. The Cambrian period marks an important point in the history of life on Earth. It is the time when most of the major groups of animals first appear in the fossil record. This event is sometimes called the Cambrian explosion because of the relatively short time over which this diversity of form appears. Almost every metazoan phylum with hard parts and many that lack of hard parts made its first appearance in the Cambrian. The only modern phylum with an adequate fossil record to appear after the Cambrian was the phylum Bryozoa, which is not known before the early Ordovician. A few mineralized animal fossils, including sponge spicules and probable worm tubes, are known from the Ediacaran period, immediately preceding the Cambrian. Some of the odd fossils of the biota from the Ediacaran may also have been animals representative of living phyla, although this remains a somewhat controversial topic. However, the Cambrian was nonetheless a time of a great evolutionary innovation, with many major groups of the organism appearing within a span of only 40 million years.
The Ordovician period lasted almost 45 million years ago. During this period, the area of the North Tropic was almost entirely ocean, and most of the world's land was collected into the southern supercontinent Gondwana. The Ordovician is best known for its diverse marine invertebrates, including graptolites, trilobites, brachiopods, and the conodonts. A typical marine community consisted of these animals, plus red and green algae, primitive fish, cephalopods, corals, crinoids, and gastropods. The Silurian period was a time when the Earth underwent considerable changes that had important repercussions for the environment and life within it. One result of these changes was the melting of large glacial formations. This contributed to a substantial rise in the levels of the major seas. The Silurian witnessed a relative stabilization of the Earth's general climate, ending the previous pattern of erratic climatic fluctuation. The Silurian is a time when biological significant event occurred. In the ocean, there was a widespread radiation of crinoids, a continued proliferation and expansion of brachiopods, and the oldest known fossil of coral reefs. As mentioned earlier, this time period also marks the rise of rapid spread of jellyfish, along with the important appearances of both the first fish, freshwater fish, and the appearance of jawfish. Other marine fossils commonly found throughout the Silurian record include trilobites, graptolites, conodonts, corals, stromatoporoids, and mollusks.
Devonian. The Devonian period is a geological period that lasted from about 419 to 359 million years ago. Occurring just before the Carboniferous period, it's part of the Paleozoic era and is known as the Age of Fishes, due to the diversification and dominance of fish during this time. Think of the Devonian period as Earth's coming of age phase. It's like the time when you start to explore your surroundings more independently and develop your own unique personality. During the Devonian period, the first forests began to emerge, composed mainly of plants such as ferns, lycopsids, and early seed plants. The land masses were still mostly joined together into the supercontinent of Gondwana, but they began to slowly drift apart. To summarize, the Devonian period was one of the most important times on our planet's history, setting the stage for the evolution of terrestrial ecosystems when the land was conquered by plants and animals. Carboniferous period. The Carboniferous period is a geological period that lasted from about 359 to 299 million years ago. It's part of the Paleozoic era and is divided into two epochs, the Mississippian and the Pennsylvanian. The Mississippian period. The Mississippian period is part of the Carboniferous period. It is named after the Mississippi River Valley. It was marked by the significant geological and biological shifts. Shallow seas dominated much of Europe and North America, fostering the growth of diverse marine life and the formation of extensive coral reefs. So inland, it witnessed the diverse emergence of early forests consisting of ferns, seed ferns, and primitive gymnosperms, setting the stage for the later environment of coal-making forests in the subsequent Carboniferous period.
The Permian period. The Permian period lasted from 299 to 251 million years ago and was the last period of the Paleozoic era. The distinction between a Paleozoic and Mesozoic is made by the end of the Permian in recognition of the largest mass extinction recorded in the history of life on Earth. Mesozoic era. Mesozoic over 252 to 66 million years ago means middle life, and this is the time of the dinosaurs. This era includes the Triassic, Jurassic, and the Cretaceous period, names that may be familiar to you.
The Permian-Triassic period, spanning roughly 252 million to 201 million years ago, marked a significant times in Earth's history. It saw the end of the Paleozoic era and the beginning of Mesozoic era. During the Permian-Triassic period, there there was a mass extinction event known as the Permian-Triassic extinction event, which is often referred as the Great Dying. It is the most severe extinction event known in Earth histories, with around 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrates. The Permian-Triassic extinction event is considered the most significant event of this period. It led to the disappearance of many marine and terrestrial species, paving the way for the rise of new forms of life during the subsequent Jurassic period. The Jurassic period followed the Permian-Triassic extinction event and lasted from approximately 252 million to 200 million years ago. It is the first period of the Mesozoic era, which is often referred to as the Age of Reptiles. During the Jurassic period, Earth underwent significant changes as new ecosystems emerged and life rebounded from the devastation of the preceding extinction event. It was a time of recovery and evolutionary innovation. Several key events occurred during the Jurassic period, including the continued breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea, leading to the formation of separate landmasses and changes in ocean circulation patterns. The Jurassic period followed the Jurassic period and lasted from approximately 201 million to 145 million years ago. It is the second period of the Mesozoic era and is known for being the age of dinosaurs. During the Jurassic period, Earth experienced significant geological and biological changes. Pangaea continued to break apart, leading to the formation of separate continents and ocean basins. The climate was generally warm and humid with lush vegetation covering much of the land. One of the most iconic features of the Jurassic period is the dominance of dinosaurs. This period saw the peak of dinosaurs' diversity, with numerous species evolving to occupy various ecological niches. Some of the most well-known dinosaurs, such as Brachiosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Allosaurus, lived during this time.